Gentlemen, welcome to ESC Fan TV and to the very first RETROVISION Song Contest panel review. Tonight we're taking you back to 1976. Let your hips go hippity bum bum. De toi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESC Fan TV. Hello pop pickers, welcome to ESC Fan TV and to the very first RETROVISION Song Contest panel review. Today we're looking at 1976 and a quick welcome to all our guests. On my left we have Tristan. Hello Tristan.
Hello there, how are you doing?
Very well indeed. Very regular with ESC Fan TV. We've got Tom. Hello Tom.
Hi, Andy. I'm trying to make you out amongst this hair. But thanks for the shampoo recommendation. My hair seems to have grown back this week.
It does, absolutely. I have no idea who we've got next to you. A couple of fine-looking young men. Not you. Hello.
Hi.
Phil and Michelle. Oh, thank you very much. You look like you're enjoying yourself already. And Joanne, welcome, Joanne.
Hello, Andy. Or should I go? Hi.
You should.
Welcome.
We're going to get you to do that later. Welcome. And thank you very much, Stewart, for inviting me to host the very first edition of RETROVISION. Welcome, Stewart.
It's a real pleasure, Andy. Can I just say, first off the bat, that we look like a lot of extras from a 1970s porn film. Just putting that out there.
You wish.
All in the name of entertainment.
It is all in the name of entertainment, CND. This might be 1976. You can still send a postcard to escfantv.com where you can watch our YouTube videos. You can join us online right now. You can chat in the chat room. You can do all sorts of snap numpty things. I think we've got Instagram. Have we got Instagram, Tom?
Of course, we've got Instagram. Stuart.
Anything from the 21st century that's come all the way back to 1976?
Do you know what? We packaged it and we sent it lovingly back. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, the lot.
Do you know, I haven't got a clue what any of those...
Apple Music.
Apple Music.
Yeah, it's not iTunes anymore. It's Apple Music Podcast.
Right. Well, are we releasing this on a 7-inch single?
Maybe 12.
And to those of you in the chat room, please send your comments through. We'd love to hear from you. Please like the show. And don't forget to click subscribe. Right, just to put 1976 in some context, 3 countries had just finished being dictatorships. That was Greece, Portugal, and Spain. So times were changing. Turkey had been in the contest the previous year, so Greece couldn't. Turkey didn't join this year, so Greece did. So in some ways, some things never change. We're going to go straight away and start to look at the songs. We've got 16 or 18 songs to go through, but we're just going to choose our personal favorites. And I'm going, first of all, over to Joanne for your favorites.
I have quite a few favorites. A little bit of background. This was my first contest. I was actually very serious about Eurovision. And I remember me and my mum and my sister sitting to watch it, and so a lot of the memories are coming back. The first one is definitely Switzerland.
Don't be sad, for you know that the show must go on. Hey, 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 jump, jump on. It was you who had us laughing, here was the one.
Not so much a personal favourite. I remember it because I hated clowns when I was 7.5. I don't know why, but I do remember it because of Peter, Sue and Mark, and the fact that they represented them 4 times. And I think this was it their second attempt, and then they went on in 79 and then again in 81, which was eventually my favourite. lovely upbeat song with a mid-tempo, I guess, with a nice sort of story to it. She sings amazing, and actually just the fact that they, in their 4 attempts, they actually sang in 4 different languages as well. So kudos to them, definitely.
This one was their English language song, wasn't it?
It was their English language song
with a German title.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had but they had a German song, I think, in 79, I believe, and then Italian in 81. So, and I think the first one was French, and I'm trying to think what year. I'm going to say the 71.
I think you're right. Oh, so always the bride, never the bride.
Yeah, so gosh. Oh yeah, I think this is one of their better entries. Certainly, I love them just for the fact that they were Peter, Sue and Mark, if I'm honest. Not so keen on the song though. Yeah, and then another one of my favourites is definitely Austria.
I just love my little world. I don't need no new sensations.
Again, Austria I loved because Worsley and Robinson were quite famous in Austria, and they then again tried to represent them 10 years later, I think, as well. I've got a thing in 84, I think. And yeah, again, I just love them for the fact that they were that nice Austrian kitsch, and it was a very catchy song, very sing-along, and all about someone who didn't really want to actually go with this girl that fancied him, because he quite liked being single.
Well, why was that, do you think?
I don't know. And they went, I mean, I found out quite recently, they actually was going for years and years afterwards as well. So it's interesting that they had that longevity in them, so to speak, because you wouldn't have thought that, but they were very, very popular, and they deserved their 4th place, was it? Yeah.
Yep, their 4th place and 5th place, and Peter, Sue and Mark came 4th, so you chose to.
Yes, that's the one. That's it. The way around, yeah.
And we've done our own poll, and I can tell you, I know they came 7th and 8th in our own poll. So pretty consistent there.
Pretty consistent, absolutely.
Now I'm going to move on to Stewart. Stewart, what was your favourite song from 1976?
Well, I've chosen the UK with Brotherhood of Man and Save Your Kisses for Me, Andy. I want to take you back to 1976 national final for the UK, a song for Europe presented by Michael Aspel. I wonder who remembers Michael Aspel. What a legend he was. 12.6 million viewers. Now, I just want to hang on that stat for a minute. 12.6 million viewers. When you combine that with 7 million viewers watching Eurovision this past year, 2019, that is an incredible statistic for a national final. It was the 18th most watched TV program in that entire week. It was massive. So because it's for me, took part in that final against some real stiff competition. Who remembers Hazel Dean? She was once Searching for Love.
Yep, Searching for Love would have been a fantastic Eurovision entry.
It would have been, yeah. We had Frank Ifield. We also had Tony Christie on his way to Amarillo, all in one national final. Who would have thought it? And would we get that today? We certainly wouldn't. And of course, not forgetting Coco, who of course went on to represent at Eurovision themselves. What about Eurovision? So yeah, what a fantastic song. It's one of the biggest selling songs of all time in Eurovision. They're a great 4-piece. They still do the rounds today. Yeah, I mean, what's to be said about their performance? It was legendary. It won by quite some points. It was a great win for the United Kingdom, and we look back now as probably that being one of our strongest, if not our strongest, Eurovision winner ever.
And of course, it was the first time that we won in its own right. We'd won in 1969, but we had to share the title with 3 other countries. So it really was quite special.
Yeah, just another point on that as well. I mean, going into the contest, Andy, they were number one in the UK and also around Europe for over 2 weeks. They were in number one in Europe for another 3 weeks thereafter. They had a huge hit just a few years later. In fact, the year before, across the whole of Europe. So, you know, it's essentially a bit like Russia sending in Tattoo to Eurovision. The UK, would they do that today? But back then, that was something we were able to do.
And well, funnily enough, in the UK, they weren't well known. United We Stand had been a big hit across Europe. It had been a hit in the UK, but not such a big hit. And I remember thinking, who on earth are they? So when they went to number one before the contest, that really was quite something. And you can imagine the excitement on Eurovision Day of thinking, wow, we are number one in the charts, we're going to win. And of course, we did. Everybody knew that the UK was going to win. Let's move on. Tom, you rather liked the song that came second.
The thing is, right, obviously, if you're a UK Eurovision fan, you can sing Save All Your Kisses for Me off by heart. But every Eurovision fan should be able to get on board with the simple lyrics of, you ready? Amazing song. Bouncy, cheesy, performed to perfection by Catherine Ferry. Do you know what? And I think this, should it have won over United Kingdom is the question. I mean, obviously, we're all a bit biased here, but it was an incredibly, Michelle's shaking her head very, very, very violently. It was a brilliant, catchy tune. In actual fact, dare I say it, it almost fits in with Joy Fleming's song the year beforehand, in that I think it was actually before its time. I think if it was actually a song that France had entered a few years later, it may have actually done a bit better. It may have even won the contest with that cheesy bounciness.
And yet, if you go back to 1976, it was seen as terribly, terribly old-fashioned. Save Your Kisses for me was terribly old-fashioned, but Under Trois certainly was. A bit like when Gina G came to Eurovision with Who Are Just a Little Bit. It went from being so old-fashioned it was untrue to being right on the point.
Oh, exactly.
You know, a couple of years makes a huge difference in these things.
But I do think one of the things that did influence it was the third place song as well. The Monaco song that I can't actually pronounce the title of. Hang on, let me try and embarrass myself ever so slightly. If you just bear with, I will pull up the title again. I'll read it in my best French accent. If you just bear with. Hang on. Dum 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 dum. Toi, la musique et moi.
Oh, Terry Wogan will be proud.
See? And I think in actual fact, I mean, it must have been a close rundown, second and third.
Yeah.
France and Monaco, they should have combined forces.
Where have we heard before?
Excellent songs. And I know, Andy, the Monaco song is actually one of your karaoke favourites.
It is. And it's a fantastic disco tune. It's a fantastic disco tune. Love it, love it. Now, Michelle, Phil, welcome to the show tonight. Two fine-looking specimens of 1970s hotness.
You're welcome.
Off you go. Tell us about your favourite songs and why.
Well, our favourite song was Finland, because it's just a big bundle of fun. And it's another one that, you know, if you've seen the show, you're going to remember it and sing along. Let your heads go, everybody.
That's the way it has to be done. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way we dance till we die. Let your hip go rip-a-tip-a-pa. Bring the shivers around the spine.
Yeah, I mean, and
What's not to like? We love a song with a dance and with a catchy chorus.
with Freddie and Friends. I mean, Freddie is like a man mountain with, and then he's got his two singers next to him, and then a little bit further back, you've got another guy all dressed in like a tank top and a suit. He looks like
Straight from
somebody
the
off
office.
well, I thought he looked like, you know, these 70s sitcoms. He looks like somebody who would play the next door neighbour in a 70s sitcom.
Yeah.
But I mean, the song is basically pure filth. It's about finding your
Oh,
partner
wait.
for life and then having sex with them.
We're
forever.
all about pure filth.
That's it. What's not to love? I mean,
I
even
think-
the dancers would go nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's all about
It's
saying
not
them all.
it's not very often that we agree on anything, but we do agree on let your let's go pumpity pump pump.
So do you think if it hadn't have been for Save Your Kisses for Me with their cute song,
Yes.
lovely
Oh, yes,
routine,
yes, yes.
might Freddie have won?
Yes. Oh no, do you know actually? I had Monaco above Freddie.
So to speak.
So Freddie, if Save Your Kisses for Me wasn't there, they'd have come second.
Right.
But yeah, I had Monaco top.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We're all liking Monica tonight.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
but
good song.
I think everyone should let the hits go pumpty pump pump. Every now and again.
Indeed. Tristan, how are your hips? Are they
Yes.
going hippity pump pump?
Yeah, that was my favourite. Pump Pump. Obviously, Freddie's a lucky omen for the UK because Freddie took part in 1967, which is when Sandy Shaw won. And it's a great song. And I don't know if anyone went to West End Eurovision a little while ago, a few years ago, when the 39 Steps was actually won West End Eurovision, doing a version of Pump Pump, a very, very, very accurate version of Pump Pump. It was fantastic. It was a fantastic show. And so I loved that one. The other one I really liked was the German song, Sing Sang Song.
Das stört sich keiner mehr. Das ist unser Weg, komm her, wir machen nichts. Sing, sang, song. Sing, sang, song. Sing, a sang, song. Sing, sang, song. Sing, a sang, song.
Bit repetitive, but really great energy. And of course, that was Ralph Siegel's first ever song for Germany. I think he'd already done a song for Luxembourg a couple of years earlier.
And do you know how many songs he's done overall? He holds the record.
Not offhand, but
do you know,
it's probably my favourite Siegel song.
Is it?
Mm.
And
Definitely
the
my
Les
favourite
Humphrey
Siegel
Singers
songs.
had 12 members. So obviously only half of them appeared on stage. Do you think that might have had something to do with the fact that the harmonies were a little bit looser than they might have been?
No, I think it was all fine, to be honest. I mean, I mean, yeah, it's really surprising it didn't do so well because Les Humphreys, what were they called? The Humphrey Singers. They were very well known in Europe. They were probably just as well known as Brotherhood of Man were. So it's surprising that it didn't do that well and only came 10th, was it, or 12th, I think. Didn't do very well. And the other one I really like, which is the Irish song, and the Irish song written by Brendan Graham, who wrote Rock and Roll Kids and The Voice.
When the lonely silence calls, when I walk through empty halls, then all my thoughts run on to you.
And also wrote You Raise Me Up. So quite a great pedigree. It's a lovely song. It's very similar to sort of a Charles Aznavour type song. Charles Aznavour sang She a couple of years earlier. It's a similar sort of style, but I do like it. And Ireland again, that was robbed. It deserved to do a lot better, but it sort of came mid-table in the end.
You can often find, looking back, a song that a Eurovision song was based on, and
yeah,
Save Your Kisses for me was based on Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree. You know, really similar sort of songs. They're just come a couple of years later.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of songs that are very, very similar, to be honest. I mean, yeah, one of the songs, I'm just trying to think. One of the songs this in 1976 really reminds me of Puppets on the String. Is it the one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Under Toi.
It's very
France.
Oh, so
France.
Under Toi. Under Toi, France. Yes, it's
It's
very
Yes,
an amazing
similar
song.
to-
You would have noticed it from my rendition, Pitch Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. The French songs is great. I love the strings, the drums, and the French song. She's amazing. I mean, she did really well because she'd only ever sung for 1 year, but previously, and it was the first time she'd ever been out of France, so she had absolutely no experience, and she did pretty well. But,
She did very well.
yeah.
So I'm going to just give a little shout out for the songs that came last and second last, which just happened to be my two very favourite songs. Ambassadori sung for Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia started entering in 1961. They were completely ignored by the juries right up until 1989, when they sent probably their worst entry and then went and won the contest. But the song from 1976, don't ask me to tell you the title of it, is wonderful. If it had been in this year's contest, it could have been top 10. And it was a Bosnian entry as well. My other favourite is Matahari, Anna Karin Strom from Norway. Now, the thing that ruined it with those sunglasses. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad song, and I think he deserved to come better than last. But
I loved her. She was so shiny.
it was like she did look like a female Elton John tribute act.
But she was so shiny. She brought so many sequins to a rather dull sort of dress-wise Eurovision. She was there in I don't know what to call it. A trouser suit.
Yeah.
A trouser suit onesie, all sparkly. She was ahead of her time. I tell you, chuck her on a stage now, she'd be top 10.
I think she just out-70'd the 70s. That's the problem.
She was before her time.
Yeah. And the
Let me just
shades come on. The shades go
40 years before.
She was 40 years ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was the only person to ever come, only person in the history of Eurovision to come bottom twice.
And this was her second go at coming bottom.
But she was
Did
so shiny.
anyone notice when the?
Go on.
Did anyone notice when the orchestra or the swing band or whatever it was does the postcard for Norway? It starts off with the Dutch song, which came before then. And then it turned into a jazz song.
The old
Tristan is our 1976 expert for the night.
No, every postcard started from before.
That's right. Let's look at a little bit more at the song that won. Stewart has already told us a little bit about Save Your Kisses From Me.
That's right.
It did very well. It did very well in the charts, but we're going to have a little game to see how you think it came in the end of year charts in the United Kingdom. So I'm going to give you the name of a song that was #1 in the charts in 1976. And in the end of year chart, did this song come higher or lower than Save Your Kisses For Me? And I'm going to start with a song from the Netherlands, actually. Very rare to have a song from the Netherlands in the chart, but it was Pussycat and Mississippi. Did that come higher or lower than Save Your Kisses For Me?
Lower.
Oh, we got lower.
Higher.
Lower.
Gamble.
Lower.
It came lower. Okay, now this is an easy one. The Wurzels and Combine Harvester.
Higher, higher.
We got a brand new combine.
Higher.
Oh, you didn't want me to sing it. We'll go higher. Higher.
Okay, I know it also came lower. And here's a tip. When this show's finished, go and listen to the Wurzels version of Ooh, just a little bit. It exists. It exists, I promise you. Okay, so it's like,
is that in the future? I've never heard that song. Is that in the future?
it is
that song.
It is in the future. We're Back to the Future.
All right.
Okay, now, all right, a classic. Rod Stewart and Sailing. Was it higher or lower than Kisses from Me?
Oh, higher.
Lower. Lower.
Higher.
Yeah, it was
Lower.
also lower. It was also lower. Also lower were Chicago, If You Leave Me Now, Shawaddy Waddy, Under the Moon of Love. But what about Tina Charles, I Love to Love?
Lower.
That might
That was a really popular song, wasn't it? Still lower.
It was lower. Okay, so what about Elton John, Kikidi, Don't Go Breaking My Heart? That was also 1976.
Lower.
Higher.
You think it was higher?
Lower.
Yep, it was lower. It was lower. It sold several million songs, copies, but it was still lower. And finally, ABBA had 3 songs in 1976: Fernando, Mamma Mia, and the best-selling of their songs was Dancing Queen. Higher or lower?
Lower.
Higher.
Higher. Obviously.
Lower. Lower.
Yeah.
Higher.
Surprisingly enough, for one of the best disco songs of all time, Dancing Queen sold considerably less copies than Save Your Kisses for Me. Save Your Kisses for Me was #1 for 6 weeks in the United Kingdom that year. 6 weeks. It was the top-selling song, sold 4 million copies, and it's probably the best-selling Eurovision single ever.
I demand a recount.
Well, I don't blame you. Who knows what their follow-up was called?
Nobody knows.
My Sweet Rosalie.
My Sweet Rosalie. Now, look at that. Check it out on YouTube. It is identical to Save Your Kisses for Me. It has almost the same dance routine. The same guy sings the lead, has the same chorus, and it has a little denouement at the end to make you go, ooh. What was that? Joe, you know.
You know what?
I can't remember.
The payoff line at the end. Instead of it being a 3-year-old girl they're kissing.
I can't remember, actually.
It's Rosalie is a little puppy dog.
Oh my God, of course.
Anyway, that sold about 3 copies.
It was very low, yeah.
It was
about the pig, not the puppies.
It was very low.
Was that very much the rise and fall of Brotherhood of Man?
Well, they went on to have Angelo and Figaro, Figaro. Figaro, which were ripped off of ABBA songs. There was no doubt that we agreed in the end with the jurors in 1976. We had in 5th place Pump Pump. We had in 4th place The Party's Over. That was the home entry by Sandra Rima. In 3rd place, we had Monaco. In 2nd place, we had France. And in 1st place, we had the United Kingdom. So there you go. Now, looking back to 1976, it was a completely different contest. What do you miss from 1976? And what would you like to see in a current day contest? Stuart, I'm going to start with you.
Well, can we have a Eurovision Song Contest that doesn't last all year? You know, when I think back to 1976, it was 2 to 2.5 hours, roughly in the 70s. Today, Eurovision is a minimum 4 hours. Madonna in, Madonna out. Who cares? You know, do we really need an hour of intervals just to announce the Eurovision winner? Yes, we love Eurovision, but does it need to take all bloody year?
Well, I agree. And the interval act in the 1976 competition was the stage, wasn't it? They just said, oh, look, our stage can move. Here it is, moving a little bit.
It was very innovative, though, that stage.
It was.
Because if you think about it, that was almost like the forerunner to some of the stages that we've seen over the last many years.
Well, it was a flat pack, wasn't it? They picked it up, they put it in a crate, saved it for the following year.
Yeah, and in 1984 as well.
Well, let's be honest.
1980.
They got their usage.
1980 as well. Yeah.
IKEA, you know, has a lot to answer for.
It does. And the innovation in 1976 was the backstage green room chats. You didn't notice that, did you, Phil? You haven't been watching.
The backstage chat, yeah. And it went on through the interval act as well, didn't
Yeah,
it? So
interrupting the brass band that was on stage. Or jazz band. Joanne, what do you most miss from 1976? What would you bring forward?
What would I bring back?
Yeah.
The minimum number of hosts, I think. Maybe not one, but certainly no more than two. I just don't get 4 hosts. I just don't get it. I haven't got it for years, and I know that's what's been happening quite recently, and most years, isn't it? Recently.
So when was the last time we had one host?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It's got to be. I'd say sort of mid-80s, probably.
No, sooner than that.
Or maybe even 90s. Is it?
No, later.
Wow.
2013, Malmo.
Oh gosh, right. Because I'm just thinking of I'm thinking of when it was literally only one host. Because at the end, because I remember 97 and 98, we had 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, when was the first year that we had 2 hosts, Joe? First year.
No, I don't know. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah,
I was going to say 98, but yeah.
You're 20 years out.
Yeah.
So 1978. 1978.
So
yeah. Tom?
That was obviously in France, yeah.
I was just thinking that, you know, this kind of Israel connection has a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
When Israel won it for the first time round was the first time there were 2 hosts. Israel hosted it in 1999, and correct me if I'm wrong, there were 3 hosts.
You're right.
And now there's 4.
And now there's 4. This one-upmanship cannot continue. Unless they want to make all of us.
Not having 5.
Well, in which case that will be wrong. Phil and Michelle, you're going to speak as one person. What would you bring forward?
I think it was the evening dress. The fact that, you know, basically everyone was dressed smart. Even the audience was wearing a suit.
Well, the audience.
Chuck a bloke in a dicky bow, you know.
Yeah.
Let make a thing, you know. None of this guitar with nipple rings and all that sort of shite. You want a bloke in a nice suit and a lady in a flowing dress.
Well, yeah, as a 14-year-old girl, I did wonder why all the audience were dressed beautifully, and then they turned up on stage.
Because they were going out. Yeah, because they were going out. You put your best stuff on. You're going out for the night. It's something special. Make it something special again. None of these pillocks turning up in national dress and going, "Way!"
I mean, I always turn up in a suit when I go to a Eurovision final.
You do.
And I always turn up in a dress.
You do.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah. The other thing I would mention is the fact that everyone on stage was either singing or playing an instrument. There's no dancers in the background or anything like that.
None of this modern dance lark, you know, chucking people up or, you know, people in bloody hamster wheels and all that schniz. No,
it was all about
you're either singing or you're not on it.
Or you're playing an instrument.
That's it. Yeah. Sing, play an instrument, or get off.
So there was no dancing then,
No, we don't want dancing.
Well, no, there was no.
It's a loose contest.
Yeah, unless I mean, obviously, you know, the people singing had a bit of choreography, but there's no pure dancers on stage.
The people singing can have a bit of a dance, but we don't want people that aren't singing coming on and going all Kate Bush on us. You are on there. You're either singing a song, or you're playing an instrument, or you're useless. It's pointless. Get off. It's a song contest.
And of course, they did have microphone cables to contend with, so that kept them rooted to the spot generally.
I think Hitari would have used them to great effect. Probably somebody would have been unconscious somewhere and loving it.
Possibly. Tom, what would you bring?
I'll get extra shout.
You know what? I think a lot of things have to actually be taken into account, and the voting. Let's deal with the voting for a start off. Yeah. All right. They do. Yeah, I had to take the tash off. It was falling off anyway. I can always do that. See, but they announced the songs in the order in which they came on stage. I can kind of understand that. Had a lovely old-fashioned feel. But you know what? The one thing I liked, they just got on with it. It was like, can we have your votes, please? Yes. United Kingdom, 12 points.
Yes.
You know, Switzerland, 5 points. This country, this country, this. Thank you very much. Good night. Why do the voting presenters have to make such a song and dance of themselves? Oh, hello. Thank you for a wonderful evening. Look, I can speak a little bit of your language. Look, I'd like my 90 seconds of fame or whatever. Just get on with it. We want to know the winner. We have no interest whatsoever that a Swedish presenter can speak a bit of Polish.
I think that started when they started showing the presenters of the votes on screen.
Maybe there is a clue there then.
Because before that, it was just ugly people who, you know, just get on, do it, get off.
I'm sure Colin Berry, you know, loves that fact, because he did actually transition from giving the votes on radio to actually presenting them. But yeah, it was so much simple.
When you said transition, I wondered where you were headed with this, Tom.
No,
Colin Berry transitioning. What's that breaking news?
Oh,
I'm not sure we can.
Colin Berry.
Tristan, what would you bring forward from 1976 if you could?
I would say being able to see the backing singers. I think the recent fact that you can hide the backing singers away, so the audience. I mean, they up until recently, the backing singer had to be on stage, but they didn't have to focus on them, but you had to be able to sort of see them in the shadows. But for the last few years, they don't even have to be on the stage. They can be off the stage, right in the background. And I think that's a real shame. It makes people wonder whether it's pre-recorded, which it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it just takes away the whole prestige of being a backing singer. So it's lovely to watch a show where you see all the singers and you just feel that they're a part of it as well, because they're a really important part of it. So yeah, I would definitely bring that back. I mean,
and
apart
as well,
from the obvious things.
The composers were such a big part of the 1976 contest as well. This year, the composers' names were barely legible on screen, and you never saw them. I think that's such an important point. It is a song contest, not just a singers contest.
I think the difference is, isn't it? It's more of a TV show now. Sorry.
No, it's not more of a TV show. It was watched by far more people in 1976 than it is now.
Yeah, but I think if you're the composer, you should at least have, you know, a proper credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if it's a shit song.
You've written the song. It's a song contest. You've written the song, but you've provided it to a vessel to sing it for you. I mean, any old idiot can sing a good song, you know, but you need somebody to come up with the proper words and composition of it.
You do.
That's what you need.
But why have the changes been put in place over the last, you know, since 1976? A lot of it is because they've seen it as more of a TV show than a song contest. It used to be a song contest that was televised, whereas now
it's a
television show that
yeah.
a song contest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think they've gone for the singers rather than the composers, but it's harder to compose a song than it is to sing it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Right, listen.
Don't you remember the days? Sorry, I was going to say, don't you remember the days when they used to come up and actually have a trophy as well?
The
Yeah.
day, it was April the 5th, 1979.
Yeah, it was a medal, wasn't it?
Yeah, do you remember ABBA, and then Stig Anderson came out as well and had the medal?
Yeah.
And
Kimberly Roo when the UK won in '97.
Kimberly Roo never got on the stage though. He was.
He's on the stage when they collect the prize at the end.
He is not.
I'm sure he is.
No, he was manhandled off stage by security who thought he was invading the stage.
Oh, that was what I saw then. I just thought that was.
Anyway, listen. 1976. There is an elephant in the room. There's one country we haven't spoken about.
Yeah.
It's a country you could not imagine going through a review show and not mentioning them. Anybody got any idea?
Brazil.
Liechtenstein.
Who was
Liechtenstein.
Andorra.
Andorra? Wasn't there? You're
Liechtenstein.
absolutely right. Joe, who did you say?
Sweden.
You're absolutely right. There was no Sweden.
Oh,
It was criminal. They'd won it in 1974 with who? Can't remember.
Vindaloo.
Anyway. Yeah, Vindaloo. They'd even come out the following year with Jenny Jenny, and then they, for some reason, they took the hump and didn't come to the Hague. Disgraceful, really. They'd never do that these days. The following year, they came back.
Yeah.
What was that, Tris?
I think it was a protest, wasn't it? Because they didn't want to have to pay towards it, because it was the first year when other countries, not just the big four and the winner, had to actually pay towards the show.
Possibly,
so it was a protest.
If we'd have chosen to look at the 1975 contest, you could see that spend about 10 kroner on the whole thing. It can't have cost them a lot. So,
Well,
ABBA won in 1974. Everybody thought it was going to change the contest. It did change the contest. Did it change it for the good?
what?
Did ABBA winning Eurovision change the Eurovision Song Contest for good or for bad?
I'm going to say
That's
for
a
good.
bad question.
I think the thing is, it was like the launch of their career, and they made a massive career, and I think that's what's missing now. You know, you win Eurovision, but you still don't have a massive career out of it. Not like ABBA did.
No. You see, I think they didn't change it because they made a massive career, but everyone after them has struggled. Apart from Celine Dion, name somebody that's had stratospheric, wealth and songs and all over the world and everything. It's very few and far between from 1974.
Yeah, it was a false dawn, if anything.
Yes, it was. It was. You're right.
And you
I
find
think
all
it's
these
more-
songs in 1976, people thinking, I want to do a bit of ABBA, but it's not quite getting it right. Misses a bit of a mile.
I think being popular at Eurovision after Eurovision is like a lightning strike. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you'll remember it.
Indeed.
I think also should mention Liechtenstein as well.
Why should we mention Liechtenstein as well?
They were meant to take part with Little Cowboy that year with Biggie Bachman, but they had to pull out because the Liechtenstein TV they don't have their own TV channel that was registered with the EBU. So ever since then, we've been waiting for Liechtenstein to take part. But that was the year when they were meant to be taking part, and they actually had selected a song and everything.
Oh.
Has anybody heard the song? Was it any good?
No.
My Little
There's a couple
Pony?
of songs.
We should
My
crowdfund
Little
it.
Cowboy.
Yeah, we should crowdfund
no.
it. Get Liechtenstein in.
We should.
There's a few
Yeah.
songs
Can't be that hard.
that pretend to be it, but it's not been confirmed that was it.
Yeah, Tristan will get on it. Tristan, sort of crowdfunding thing out. We'll put 50p in.
Right. Guys and gals, thank you so much. It has been
You can't say that.
a blast. I'm sorry?
Guys and
I
girls.
can't say guys and gals. No, you're right. I can't say guys and gals. Pop pickers. Can I say pop pickers?
Madame's in a fit.
Gets worse. I mean, Noel Edmonds all right, isn't it?
Here we are.
Come as Noel.
No, all right.
Guys and gals, thank you so much for joining ESC Fan TV and the very first Retrovision Song Contest review, 1976. We're going to finish by asking everybody to do a snippet from their favourite song or dance routine. And I'll start with Stewart.
Kisses for me. Save all your kisses for me. Bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye. There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's all you're getting.
Who's got hippity pum pum?
Yeah!
Hippity pum pum.
Go hippity bum bum.
Pum pum.
That's the way we do, so we die. Go hippity bum bum.
Pum pum.
You're welcome.
Right. What about a little bit of un deux trois? Tom.
De toi.
Un, deux,
Tu
trois.
veux toi,
La, 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 la,
you
la, la.
can say bon dans tes bras, la la la.
Oh my God, you've been practicing.
Toi.
You got it off by heart.
Everyone
Listen,
listen
thank
to
you
it.
for joining us. Give us a bit of the Spanish song.
Spanish.
Yeah, there was.
Spanish.
Who?
Chris.
Me? Oh God, no, that awful song. I'm all
You're a crowd pleaser.
That was,
Right.
that was awful.
We hope
I
you've
mean,
enjoyed.
well,
this
sobran las
evening.
palabras, which is words are unnecessary, and I think
Words
words
are-
are unnecessary to really describe that awful song. Yeah, I mean, it's quite funny actually because in their postcard, Braulio is running around the Parque del Retiro and rowing a boat and all sorts of stuff, and apparently he was really annoyed because the Dutch TV had made him row a boat in the Parque del Retiro, and he really didn't. He's not really that energetic. He doesn't like rowing, and he gave him awful pins and needles and cramps afterwards, and he got really annoyed with the Dutch TV channel for making him do that.
How would you know a thing like that? I mean, goodness me.
The Spanish commentator actually says that while the postcard's going on. He says, "Oh, he really complained about this
That's getting your excuses in early.
He was there.
Thank you all very much.
Can I ask a question? A very
can ask a
uncomfortable question. 1975,
Yeah.
Ding a Dong won.
Mm-hmm.
And the song goes ding a dang dong, ding a dang dong. So when Germany released their song in 1976, those in the know, could you tell me whether they chose sing a sang song quite similar to the previous year? Any connection there?
No, there's loads of connection, I reckon. I don't know what the connection is, but I think there's just a bit of plagiarism somewhere. But there was a guy called Tony Marshall that should have won with Der Star. And he didn't basically. Der Star, as in the star. Der Star.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Like Darth Vader.
Start with it, yeah.
not the Death Star. No, and apparently, I don't know what happened, but they said that he cheated or something like that, and they declared his win null and void and went straight on to Les Humphries Singers.
Germany often does that.
-6.
They did it twice in subsequent years and let Ziegel through. Once with The Blind Woman and once with Reise nach Jerusalem.
Oh my gosh, that was a
Do you
good
think
song.
he's
Karina May.
Has he?
Karina May. The blind woman, Karina May.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon. It's Karina May.
yeah. Yeah, there's I do have a copy. I have a copy of the Tony Marshall song. If you know,
Do
as
you?
a CD I bought last week, and it's on there. So
It's all right,
yeah.
Joanne. We can edit that out.
I'll be fine then, love.
Oh.
I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost for words. But thank you also. Do something funny with your moustache, and we're on our way. Tristan, take your moustache off and put it on your head.
Yes. Oh, I can't do that. I'd like to ask you though, because you always love the Italian songs. Did you like the Italian song
shite.
that year?
Shite. No, it
I like
was
the
all
song,
right. It was
but
all right.
the
It was
power
all
was
right.
awful.
It didn't work on stage.
The Italian song.
It's very moving. It's very moving when you think she's singing about her daughter and would love to live that moment again where when she hears her daughter say "Daddy" for the first time, stuff like that. And of course,
Why?
quite
Has the
tragically, her
daughter died?
disappeared.
He forgot the
Well, no,
words
she disappeared. She
He forgot the
disappeared.
words.
They
on that.
Wait, in real life?
she disappeared.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
1990.
He sort of mumbles a bit.
Yeah. If you listen to Italy on that, he forgot the words. And he sort of mumbled and went,
Maybe-
Yeah.
Get the
Do
words.
you think he was guilty?
Well,
Yes.
they broke up.
do.
They broke up in 1999 after looking for their daughter for 5 years. And they still haven't found
Well,
her.
I'd have sacked him off for forgetting the words. I mean,
Really? Is that
he
so?
blew it.
Wow.
You would have done what?
Sacked him.
Hey,
Sacked
Sorry.
him off. He blew it. He blew it. You had one chance, mate. You forgot the words. Get lost.
Joe, who was his father or her father?
Her father was Tyrone Power. He was a famous American actor. It was, you know, again, it's just something I remember my mum just saying, "Oh, that must be her father," and I'm like, "Really?" You know. But yeah, it's he was really famous. Really
Joe,
famous.
I don't know how you can remember anything from 1976 because you must
I
have been
do.
minus
There's
10
things I
years old.
remember. I don't remember a lot of like closer, but in the 70s I remember really well, believe it or not. So it's like, things like your parents used to say and things, because they're no longer with us, so you always remember. So yeah. Anyone?
Oh, I'd just like to say, as you were asking what we should do with our tashes, I'd just like to say that I'm going into the future and I've gone, here, old kid, come here, I'll kick your head in.
It's the monobrow.
Yeah, Tom, you've got me glasses. Give them back.
Fine, have them. I can't see with them on anyway. Why do you think I'm staring so close towards this computer screen?
I just thought you were a bit weird.
No, it's the only way I can see anything.
Our audience is going down
I
here
like
as fast as
I think-
Eurovision ratings.
I think Stu's second-hand use of tash is best. I like that landing strip he's got.
You're liking that? Yeah, I've got that.
I'm liking a landing strip.
Yeah, the collars match the cuffs.
It reminds me of a
Mine
panto villain. Are you like going to be like Abenazia or whatever?
Abenazia, yeah.
Downstairs is hot.
I'm gonna find a use for this after.
Oh, you've got some editing. You have got some editing to do.
Right, Stuart, thank you so much for allowing me the honour and the absolute pleasure of introducing tonight's show, and thank you to all the guests. Will we be back for another one?
Of course
No.
we will.
Hope so.
I
So,
doubt it.
from everybody apart from our Michelle, all right? Cheers to 1976, and thank you.
Cheers! Cheers!